Good evening. I'm Marcia LINSKY, former magistrate, prosecutor, and currently criminal defense attorney. This is my podcast on the level with LINSKY, in which I'm hoping to introduce you to new ideas and concepts which involve the criminal justice system. I'm hoping to provide information to you, and hopefully we all learn something along the way. Tonight, it's my honor to have as my guest Tony Hudson, Executive Director of Blue Jacket Incorporated. Blue Jacket was recently awarded the Nonprofit of the Year by Greater Fort Wayne Incorporated. Congratulations,
Thank
Tony.
you.
Blue Jacket is a not-for-profit organization that focuses on providing employment, training, and transitional job opportunities for individuals with various barriers to gaining employment. Tony, where did this idea of Blue Jacket Incorporated come from?
Well, believe it or not, it came out of the criminal justice system where you worked. It was a brainchild of and an outgrowth of the reentry court system 20 years ago, 21 years ago, and some time ago. But we wanted to be able to help individuals coming home from prison become employed again, and that was the start where we cut our teeth serving people with barriers to employment. It's all started with trying to help people coming home from prison.
Awesome. Where did the name Blue Jacket, how did you come up with that name?
Well, there's a long story and a short story, so I'm going to try and keep it brief. Everyone here has heard this before, and I'm looking at everyone inside the studio, but Blue Jacket got its name from a Shawnee warrior who fought here over 220 years ago. And that name came from my interest as a fine artist, studying Native American art, culture, and design. And so when I came back to the Fort Wayne area, we knew a lot about Tecumseh and Chief Little Turtle, who was a Miami, or Mia and Tecumseh, who was a Shawnee. No one knew about Chief Blue Jacket. And first of all, I thought the name was cool, and then you start reading about him and learning a lot more about how he was so influential. He was a great trader. He was an incredible warrior. He was a great leader, and he unified 8 tribes, which meant that he could speak at least 8 languages in addition to French and English. So he was a stud, and so we thought we might as well try and name an organization after a stud who lived here, walked here on these grounds, leading some of the bloodiest defeats against the United States Army.
And it sounds like did some unification along the way of various tribes as well.
Mm-hmm.
So now you said Blue Jacket itself has not been around the full 20 years because you started the idea, if I remember correctly, as an outcropping through the reentry court, and then Blue Jacket became a standalone not-for-profit.
Correct, yes.
How long has Blue Jacket itself been in existence?
So if you remember, reentry court launched in 2001, shortly after 9/11, I remember, and then 2003 is when Blue Jacket Incorporated, just a few years later. And then it opened and launched in 2005 after a number of grants. So grants were written, and then finally, out of 18 grants, 2 were awarded, Department of Justice, Department of Labor, and that's what opened up our doors.
Okay, awesome. Now, originally when you opened up, you said you came through a reentry court, so you were more focused on the criminal justice system, helping those coming back from prison.
Yes.
Has the mission of Blue Jacket evolved over time?
No, it's the same. Believe it or not, the approach and the services that we provided to people coming home from prison is the same for everyone. If you can imagine, Marcia, and well, you can't imagine because you're in it. You're with us, and I'm not sure if I should disclose how close you are to Blue Jacket, but you are huge for us. And the reality is that if we're able to help someone who has been in prison and returns home after 30 years being down, and then just regains their footing by going through just a really quick 2-week process with us, and we find employment and match them with employment, then you really think we could probably do that with anyone with a barrier. So someone who has been down that long and then comes back and they're viable citizens, growing families and buying homes and doing it the right way, pursuing the American dream, then we can do that with anyone with a barrier to employment.
And do you help others with other barriers to employment other than just felony convictions?
Yeah, I was mentioning yesterday that we've served people with 3 post-baccalaureate degrees. Like they have 3 master's degrees, a PhD, and can speak many languages to someone who can't read the side of a bus. everyone in between educationally, everyone between 18 to 80. Name the barrier. I'm a victim of domestic violence, or I'm a homemaker and I just haven't worked for 15 years, or I have an intellectual or cognitive disability or a physical disability, or I just feel like someone won't give me a chance because of my mental illness, or I've been struggling with my addictions. Those are all individuals that are great candidates to be able to walk through our front door. We don't turn anyone away.
And how do I get involved if I'm finding that I'm struggling to find employment? How would I get involved with your agency?
Well, thank you for asking. So it's really easy. Just walk in through our front doors at 2826 South Calhoun. And we do take phone calls, 744-1900, online. People email us, how do we get involved, at contact@bluejacketinc.org. We're on the website. We're on Facebook, Instagram. And all of those methods are ways to get involved. You can also reach out to us through our Google page as well. So, but it's easiest for people just to walk through our front doors.
Okay, awesome. What ways do you assist in finding employment? Do you have any kind of an employment agency with Blue Jacket, affiliated with Blue
Really
Jacket?
good question. I guess I should probably talk about how we prepare people in the first place. So, people go through 2 weeks of training, and that's called the Blue Jacket Academy. It's all soft skill based. So we teach how to keep employment. And then after they graduate that training, and I will tell you only 60% of the people who go through our training graduate, the other 40% say, I can go get a job on my own, or I'm just not cut out for this. Why does that happen? It's intense by design. They have to dress business professional. They have to be on time. Their assignment's complete. And this methodology is used all over the country. Blue Jacket Academy is nothing new. We modeled after an organization out of, it used to be Chicago and New York. Now it's all over the place, called Strive. But this training is kind of a screening tool, but also a preparatory tool as well. In addition to that, we realize that just classroom-based training many times is not enough. So you asked, do we have like a job placement service? Of course we do, but for people who aren't ready to work, and think about that individual who has 30 years down in prison, imagine if there's a mental illness there, or an illiteracy issue, or other issues that this person is bringing with them through our front door. We want to be able to hire them in-house. So we've been trying to create new enterprises to be able to hire them transitionally before we place them into the community-based employment that employers out in the community are saying, hey, we'll give them a chance. So many times there are employers that say, hey, we're not ready to hire this person with all of that stuff. And many times it's the person saying, I'm not ready to work with all this stuff. So we have 2 thrift stores. We hire through Fantasy of Lights, which is our annual event in Franke Park. We have a cleaning service, and we have like 10 contracts where we send cleaners out every day. And then we have a coffee shop as well. And those things all allow us to hire about 45 people, which is crazy.
So it's quite a few, yes.
Yeah. But then we also have a staffing agency that we place people through. And out of that, we have about 40 employers, active and inactive. Right now, I think there's only 8 employers that are hiring through us, I think. And we're growing that as well because we have a lot more clients coming through our door.
That's awesome that you've got awesome in the sense that you're helping so many more people, not awesome that there are more people that need the help. But
yeah.
Do you find that, especially for those coming back from the Department of Corrections, that being able to find employment, there are barriers to them in initially finding employment. Does that help with self-esteem when someone is gainfully employed?
Oh my gosh. So you look at it on so many levels, from the family on how they benefit, from the person how they benefit, and from the employer how they benefit. So that person coming home from prison, from the Department of Corrections, or with any barrier, and they're walking through the threshold of that employment entity, sitting down with an interview with the hiring manager, thinking to themselves, I don't deserve this job, or they're never going to hire me. And when they do hire them, and reach out and give a little grace and say, you know what, I'm not going to judge you based on your past. I'm going to judge you on your present, on your actions right now. You just went through this training. You're putting your best foot forward. You're telling us all the right things. Can you start tomorrow? And what that does for that person is it builds loyalty, and a sustainability for them to be able to say thank you for this opportunity. It not only builds worth and value in someone's life, it grows confidence that, hey, I'm going to be able to achieve other goals that I set out for when I came home from prison. So there's value all the way around when someone's willing to, and I use the word redeem, and I've been redeemed by Christ. He forgave me for being a jerk, and I've been that way my whole life. But he paid the price, and I think the word redemption is there for people who feel undeserving of it or should be undeserving of it. And redemption comes from the position of an employer saying, hey, we're going to be able to redeem what you did or how you are, how someone presents. And we are still going to put faith and trust in you and bring you into our family, into our team.
Now, if I've gone through your program, I go out and I get a job, and maybe it's not a good fit, or something happens with that company, and I find myself unemployed again, can I come back to Blue Jacket for more help, more assistance?
Yeah, we're with people for life. So when at the beginning I was talking about how we were funded by government grants, one of the 7 reasons, I think there were 7 big reasons, and if you remember that, one of the 7 big reasons was that we could only stick with people for the tenure of the grant. We could only provide services. And we're like, this is crazy. We should be here for life for someone when they want to upgrade their job. So yes, we turned our backs on those government grants in 2011 and decided to move away from those things so that we could offer that opportunity to be with graduates of that 2-week training for life, and we are. And so there are, I think, 7 people. I saw 7 names on the board of past graduates that are looking for upgrades right now. So our team, Lindsay, Tyler, Jennifer, Jose, and Crystal are all working on helping those 7 in addition to the 12 who are graduating this Friday. And I think there are 5 others that we're transitioning out of cleaning.
You have another graduation
going on Friday, yes. Yes.
Very good. Very good. Can anyone come to those graduations?
Yeah, if people want to celebrate this graduation, it's at Blue Jacket. It's in our back gallery area on our office space, inside of our office space at 12 o'clock. It's a big celebration. We like to call great attention to the people who earn their stripes.
And is it fair to say that for quite a few of the people that come through your program, this is one of the few times or one of the first times they've actually graduated from something?
You've witnessed it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an emotional moment where people say, you know what, I've never graduated anything in my life, and this is so impactful and so important. And I have a lot of great friends here that I've become close with in the class, and then they turn to the staff and they're like, we know that you're going to be around and you feel like family to us, which Marcia, you've met the staff, the team. They love our clients perfectly.
I guess we'll let one of the cats out of the bag. The Blue Jacket has a board that helps govern it. Is that correct?
It's about time.
And I've been a member of the board previously, and I recently rejoined the board.
Yes.
I was tickled to finally be able to carve out some time in my world to be able to do that because it's such a great organization.
Yes. Yeah, we mentioned on how Blue Jacket's board of directors is incredibly innovative, complementing each other, trusting in me and my ability to lead the organization. I trust the board greatly in their ability to govern and strategize and oversee our financial viability as well, which that's not easy for a nonprofit that's always innovating.
And you have a great mix of people on the board. It's not just people who are lawyers or criminal justice people. You have financial people, you have community involved people, media people, all kinds of different
Yeah, and I would like to call out our board president, who was awarded 2 years ago by the Fullinger Foundation with the David Babilia Award, Donnell Miller, as the best out of 40 nominees from 40 nonprofits. Donnell won that award. In addition to Blue Jacket getting the Greater Fort Wayne Nonprofit of the Year this year, Donnell got that a couple of years ago, which is a huge feather in our cap that, hey, here's this board president that is seen as one of the best board presidents in Fort Wayne.
And are you still, as an agency, you said you kind of walked away based on constraints from some of the federal grants. Do you still have grant funding though?
Oh yeah, so we write grants to local foundations, and we also raise money through individuals and corporations, and raise money through our special events. We do, and it would be a lie if I said we weren't government grant funded. The city of Fort Wayne just gave us a $20,000 grant to assist us in our career development, to help build individuals. It's kind of like case managing individuals who have higher barriers.
That's why I said federal.
Right.
Federal grant.
Yeah. It was through. It's a pass through from federal HUD dollars, but
Okay.
and we're very grateful for that. We haven't received dollars from the city of Fort Wayne for some time, and it was great to be seen by them. But yeah, so it's really cool how Blue Jacket's funded. In nonprofit speak, we're a social enterprise. And what does that mean? Well, a social enterprise goes into business to provide goods or services to the community to be able to sell and generate income through the sales of those goods or services. So Girl Scout cookies, for example, that's a social enterprise for the intention of helping young ladies, or the zoo, or theatrical organizations. Blue Jacket has gone into business to provide thrift, and that awesome Blue Jacket clothing company where we've sold clothes for the last 10 years. We just moved on Thursday. We're opening up at 4366 Lima Road, which is a beautiful space. I was there tonight. And we're very excited about it, but we give away clothes every year, like 30,000 articles of clothes to our clients and other clients, in addition to only hiring Blue Jacket clients. So Bobby Ann Anderson is a Blue Jacket client, incredible success story, and runs that whole operation over there. Then we have Renew, and then we have the Tall Rabbit Cafe, and then our cleaning services. Those things, that social enterprise, that earned revenue, is about 50% of our generated income. It's hard to break even on all those businesses. We're upside down in 3 of them, so it's tough. So grants support that, because you've learned being a board member, we try to put our best foot forward, and we get zealous in bringing people on, like, hey, Timmy or Johnny or Sarah or Tiffany, they all have an issue, so we want to hire them in-house because they'll never get a job in the community. Sometimes that's the case. Sometimes we want to hire them on because they really love working retail or working in a restaurant business. So hiring them on, we get zealous with it. We like bringing on the 45 additional people so that we can then move them out into their careers, and that costs a lot of money. So we have to raise money through grants to be able to do that.
Okay. I do like, in reference to the Blue Jacket clothing company, you will help by providing some clothing to people going through your career academy.
Yeah.
Because they have to be dressed appropriately. And I just learned recently, you're not only, a lot of those are people who've come out of prison. They're kind of on one side of the spectrum for criminal defense, from the criminal justice system. Recently, I understand you started an association with the prosecutor's office as well, to help if someone has to go to court and they aren't able to afford the clothing that they need. You've agreed to assist with that as well.
So we've been given a lot. And so there are patrons that come to the Blue Jacket clothing company and they round up, or they say, hey, here's an extra 10, keep that. That goes into a pay it forward bank. That pay it forward bank allows us to help those individuals who need a suit to go to court, or someone who just lost all their clothes to a fire, or someone who's been living under a bridge and is just trying to make things work. We always give free clothes to them. They have to, there's always a referral that precedes that. And I think that's pretty important for kind of streamlining it. But it's been really awesome that we have a pay it forward bank. Now it's depleting because we've been giving away a lot of clothes. However, we've had the Blue Jacket clothing company closed for a month now, and it's driving some people crazy because we ran into some issues outside of our control. Excited that it's reopening, but Marsha, we have more donations than we know what to do with, so we're excited about putting those on the backs of our students.
Thursday, come shop.
Come shop
Blue
Thursday.
Jacket.
I'm sure they're going to do a fire sale.
Now, along those lines with the fundraising, you also have some events that help in the fundraising aspect.
Yeah.
And I think there's going back to the name Blue Jacket. Is there a specific Blue Jacket Day event coming up soon?
Yeah, so if you remember, a year ago, July 15th, we revealed the beautiful sculpture of Cheap Blue Jacket, 18 feet tall, created by Sayaka Gans, a local artist, just incredible. And then we brought a lot of the descendants to that event, and they said, we'll see you next July 15th, and which gave us the impetus to say, all right, every July 15th, I guess we're having an event. So there's a local doctor that supported the financing for a Nashville artist and his wife to come up and perform. And when I was mentioning we've received a lot of blessings, and some of those blessings is the building that we reside on. And we got about 7 additional parcels of land around our building donated to us, and we wanted to be able to share this with the community. And sharing this is Cheap Blue Jacket Day. I don't think it's a fundraiser. I don't even know if we're going to break even. It is just paying forward what we've been given. So here's an artist coming up for free. And there's a few other sponsors that are going to help with some vendors and bringing in food trucks and stuff. So we are excited on July 15th to have bands from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Then after that, of course, that Saturday night is the Three Rivers Festival fireworks. So we'll be done in time for people to go downtown and start setting up their chairs, but it's going to be open to the public. We really encourage bike riders because we'll have a huge bike corral and a valet system. Like you drop off your bike, you get a number, you bring that number back, you get your bike, just like a valet parking for a nice restaurant. We're going to have valet parking for bikes, and we're going to encourage bicyclists to come in, and we're really excited about that.
The bicycle racks. There's a story behind those.
Oh my gosh, you remember that too? So we helped fabricate those bicycle racks back in 2012, and
they're still functional.
Yeah, well, they're over at the city of Fort Wayne, and they're bringing them back to us. They were deep in storage; they haven't been used. But you take the horn of the saddle, the horn of the seat of the bike, and you just hang it over this bike rack, and then you just let it go. And so we brought him back to life. Can you believe it?
Awesome. That's awesome. Now, there is also, as exciting as July 15th is going to be, and descendants of Blue Jacket himself will be at this event also.
We hope. We're struggling to get them here.
They were here last year, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you've reached out, made contact with, they're aware of this organization, which I think is just wonderful. Now, there's also an art exhibit fundraiser?
Yeah, so this will be our 9th year that we're hosting the Second Chance Art Exhibit in the same space on our campus. And this will have 15 artists telling incredible stories of 15 success stories of Blue Jacket. We call it the Second Chance, though only half of them needed a second chance. It has a nomenclature, in a sense, the stigma that I needed a second chance because I got the first one wrong, meaning I committed a crime. Only half of them committed crimes, which is really interesting. But it's great. Some of them are really awesome stories. And I talked with one of the artists yesterday, and she is very excited to highlight what she's doing. Talking about Eddie, who he bounced from 27 foster homes. And Eddie is on the spectrum and one of the kindest, sweetest people in the whole world. 27 foster homes. So she's making artwork. One of her pieces is really bringing that to light. I didn't know this, and she was telling me this yesterday. So he's had a really rough life up until this point, but you would never know it because he has the biggest smile on the face out of anyone in the room. So I'm excited.
When is that event?
So this is September 9th on our campus. You have to purchase tickets. We'll release that on Facebook and stuff. We'll have a little live band. There will be a lot of areas outside to be able to congregate and have fun. It's really cool because last year we had like 400 people there, I believe. It's an electric event, a diverse event, every walk of life you can imagine, young, old, every race, every gender, but it'll be awesome.
And you can actually bid on the artwork if you fall in love with it.
Yep, this is the first time we got yelled at a lot last year because we were just selling it outright off the wall. This will be a silent bidding process, so an auction. So this is great artwork from 15 of the best artists in Fort Wayne telling these stories of our clients. It's really exciting.
And they use all kinds of different materials and
Yeah.
styles to tell these stories.
Yeah, you have abstract artists to photographers to sculptors. I think it's powerful. I could commission a marketing firm and produce a video and push it out on the social media, say Facebook on this platform, and pay $5,000 to tell you the story. But I think it's just as beautiful to be able to have two strangers meet and allow that fine artist that has their craft to be able to tell that story. I think it's just as powerful as if we hired a marketing firm or more to be able to do that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And last but not least, we'll kind of sum this up quickly. Fantasy of Lights.
Yeah,
When does that start?
it starts.
Well, for you, it's
My
already
golly.
started. I
Yeah,
know.
it has. It starts around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Before Thanksgiving, and it goes on for 44 nights in November and December. We are also at Johnny Appleseed. That's another one of our fundraising events. So we'll be schlepping ham and beans. If you like ham and beans, come to our tent at Johnny Appleseed. And of course, Fantasy of Lights is a behemoth. We hire 18 to 28 people who are Blue Jacket clients there. It's a lot of fun.
Okay. And you can, through the website, I know you mentioned you can just make donations if somebody just wants to help the
That would be
organization
lovely.
out.
Yes. Thank you.
Tall Rabbit Cafe, the
Yes.
coffee shop. There are lots of entertaining events that go on there. Open mic nights,
Yes.
poetry nights.
Yeah, so we're going to have a consistent spoken word poetry night. This is a request for all of you poets out there. Brian Utash has collected this army of poets that compete in a poetry slam once a month now. We had our first. It was a huge success, so we're excited about that, Marcia. We also have open mics. We had a worship night. It's been a lot of fun. So,
And the event, you can find the events on the Facebook page.
yeah, and Instagram.
And TikTok?
Yeah, we're on TikTok too. Oh my golly. Yes, we're there too.
Those
Yeah.
are some good videos.
Yeah, they
I
are.
encourage everyone to look for them and find them. Did we miss anything, Tony? Anything else we should
You
know?
said a lot. If Tall Rabbit is right across from Saigon Restaurant. It is a beautiful manifestation of what we've worked so hard on the last 18 years. Go in and meet Lou or Alex or Megan or Amber. They'll treat you right. They'll give you the best drink, and hopefully your customer service is second to none in your experience in sitting in one of the alcoves.
And there's some of the best. There are pastries there, and
We're getting new
quiches.
pastries too. So we have GK products, and we're
Yeah.
getting new pastries
Okay,
from a
awesome.
few other local vendors. So we're really excited about that.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us this evening. I hope you found it interesting and had some new information about a great community asset, Blue Jacket Incorporated. The criminal justice system can create barriers, but organizations such as Blue Jacket can help people find ways to get past and around these barriers. I thank you for joining us this evening for On the Level with LINSKY.